So what do you do if you go 5 games without a win, having lost them all? If you're Aston Villa, you appoint Steven Gerrard. First game, 1 win, 3 points, but he left it late. Overall, what did you make of Villa under Gerrard, Janusz Michallik?
Well, I mean, obviously he didn't have a lot of time. At first I thought the first half Brighton were a much better team, right? And then, here's Brighton, of course. He's the team that looks very good in just about every game, but struggled to score, right? I mean, there were 12 goals, 12 scored and 13 conceded, before the game. So it's always difficult. But I tell you what, I think if you Gerrard, it's a perfect start because they've had issues going both ways, didn't they? You've mentioned they've lost 5, but this is a team that has enough talent going forward. If you look at Danny Ings, who's had some injuries, but good start to the season, Ali Watkins, Buendia, they have the players that should be scoring goals. They only had 14 before the season. The issue was in the back. And remember, last season, under Dean Smith, this was one of the best back 5s, I would say. Emi Martinez had so many clean sheets. I don't think there was another one in Europe like him, right? If you look at Target and Matty Cash as fullbacks, and if you look at Konza and Minks, I mean, they were tremendous. And this year, they started to concede. I think Dean Smith changed it to 3 in the back for most of the season. Towards the end, he went back to 4. So I think that Steven Gerrard recognized that, wanted to play nice and tight and well organized. Obviously, not conceding today was big target for him, and he's achieved that. And ultimately, in the second half, with some decent changes, he scored a couple of goals. So I think it's just a perfect debut for Steven Gerrard.
This is a decent squad that probably just needs tweaked. It doesn't need an overhaul from bottom to top. And that's a good point about the defence. And when he was at Rangers, I saw a lot of his Rangers teams as well. He wasn't frightened to make changes when he thought things weren't going well. And he didn't really seem to know where the goal was coming from. So he made the changes, took off Danny Ings, moved Watkins more central. Watkins scores the first. Really good one from Tyrone Mings to get the second. There's something nice from a managerial perspective, isn't there, when a change you make really works?
Yes, it did. But, he also made a change in the second half, with some of the players that he had on. Because remember, in the first half, I think, Matt Target and Matty Cash struggled. Playing 4 in the back, I think Tariq Lamptey on one side and Kukurea on the other side, because they were wing backs, right? They forced them to sit back. Brighton obviously playing with 3 center backs. And that was a big issue in the first half because both fullbacks, Cash and Target, couldn't get forward. And I think he set him out to, not just with the changes that you made, but he set him out to play a little bit higher, right? The line was a little bit higher, a little bit more pressing. And I think that changed the game a little bit in the second half because it didn't really look all that good for Aston Villa, in the first half, in my opinion. So it was the physical changes that you've said that he's made, but also just tweak the shape a little bit and the mentality of the players, especially in the wide areas.
What would be a good finish for Villa this season under Steven Gerrard?
Well, I mean, look, I think we all know that they've been underperforming. This is a team that shouldn't be looking over their shoulder, in terms of relegation. So I think, I think Dean Smith, had he been given more time, would have brought that team up the table just a little bit as well. So I think now season's still young. I still think you can easily shoot between 6th and 9th. I mean, they got to be in the top half of the table. No questions asked.
They got the job done. Dean Smith, by the way, the former Villa boss, also getting a win with Norwich in their game against Southampton. So the old and the new, both picking up 3 points. Villa win it. Gerrard's debut off to a flyer.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.